The Dow Jones Industrial Average closing down about 17 points today. The index, though, it's up 5%, more than 5% so far this year. S&P 500 today down just a half a point, but so far this year it is up 7%. Take a look. The Nasdaq today down about 3.5 points. It has posted a gain of more than 11% in 2012. Let's take a look at total volume. U.S. stocks traded 5.9 billion shares, a big decline, down 26%. Let's take a quick look at the 10-year note. The yield 1.91%. Let's look at the long bond, the 30-year, also falling. The yield higher, 3.1%. Let's look at currencies if we can. There we go. The dollar versus the euro unchanged, 131.30. And all right, let's tell you about Yum Brands. They just released their earnings after the close. For more and the rest of today's trading, let's go to Deborah Kostroun at the New York Stock Exchange. Deborah.
Thanks a lot, Pimm. Yes, Yum Brands. That is the owner of KFC and Taco Bell, saying after the close of trading, fourth quarter profit gaining 30% as sales increase at stores in China. Yum has almost 19,000 restaurants outside of the U.S. And as you can see, the stock up more than 2% in the trading session here, in the extended trading session now. Sales grew 21% as stores opened more than a year in China, and that really helping out the stock here in the extended trading session. Taking a look at what we saw in today's session, stocks falling just slightly. That was after that huge rally on Friday. But remember, today Europe's debt crisis once again center stage here as Greek leaders are wrestling with the spending cuts to get aid and to avoid a default. Banks were the biggest drags following that retreat in the European banks as well, Pimm.
Now, Deborah, talk about home builders for a moment, because they've recently been on a tear. But today, well, there was an analyst report that tended to clip their wings.
Right. The S&P Home Building Index, if you take a look, since October 3rd, up 72%, while the S&P during that time is up 22%. So well outperforming the S&P 500. But today, those home builders were down after Raymond James cut their recommendation for Toll Brothers and Lennar, saying that the spring selling season may disappoint again. And they kind of pulled the plug on what they called the hope trade of 2012, of course, hoping that the housing market would get better. Now, energy stocks were the biggest gainers in today's session. Kind of interesting because actually crude oil fell 93 cents to $96.91 a barrel, but it was really the coal producers that were the outperformers in today's session. Crude oil was down once again on the fact that we have no resolution to the problem in Greece. That's it from here, Pimm. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Deborah Kostroun reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.